Hello everybody, Astocky here and welcome back to another episode of Buildcraft and Botania. I have not quite yet got around to updating this. I know this has happened. It should be in the pack really soon. Lots of diamonds and emeralds. The quarry over there doing an amazing job. And I thought I would try something. I've reactivated the portal and I set up these day blooms, 4 day blooms on each side, with the hope that I don't think it's actually going to be enough mana to keep the portal running just from 4 day blooms, but I feel like it's going to help to stop it from turning off so quickly. And the reason for that is there's a whole lot of things that I sort of want that are going to need that in the next, well, let's call it soon. So the very first thing I did off camera was I made myself a Kinetic Capsules Kit Tier 2. Now you saw me make these, but just in case you didn't, that's how you make them. And then in this particular case they used to make this particular capsule. That's where you saw me make them for the energy buffer. So I've made one of those. And what I'm actually going to use that for is for an item called a charging station. It takes one of those, 2 wooden kinesis pipes, and 4 iron gears. Kind of expensive. I found that a lot of the stuff in Buildcraft editions is fairly expensive, and I actually think that probably helps the balance quite a bit. So here we have a charging station. Now I need to work out somewhere to charge it. This was also producing way too slow for my liking, so what I did, this is still going just in using up some extra coal, but what I've done is I have taken the power from here. I had to do a little loop around setup because this wasn't getting any actual power, so it wasn't continuing to produce. So now this will basically work its way down. Once this drops to less than 7 buckets, it'll kick back in, it'll suck some power out of here while it does it, and I replaced the water tank with a reservoir that just constantly keeps this topped up. Didn't need to go for fluid pipes or anything because it's directly touching, so that's fairly effective. Now what I've got here is I've connected stone piping up, so it steps it down to being able to only draw 160 RF per tick, but basically these are all full. This is an iron ore gate. It has a redstone signal on, open it, redstone signal off, close it. It's important. I tried it with a basic gate originally and had the redstone off, close it, but then when the redstone went back on it didn't open it, so it's not just like it returns to its normal state once you flick it off. But you can see there, big beam of power, and now this thing starts producing like crazy. This also does, in fact, it produces quite quickly and the pumps can't sort of keep up after a little while. The other thing that I have done is I've got myself a stash of stuff over here, so I made a tool core, and the recipe for that you can't actually see, but it's a gold gear and a diamond chipset. But if we go to diamond and look at the recipe for the diamond gear, see how this is chipset on the left, gear on the right. If you put gear on the left, chipset on the right, it gives you that tool core. So I do actually need to do that. So just to demonstrate, if we go like that and like that, you get a tool core. If we flick it around the other way, you would get something different. So this will drain some power out of this. This will kick back in and start pulling. This won't do anything yet because it's still, you can see, 7883. There we go, second tool core. I have to sometimes take these things out just to stop that from happening. So I'm going to put my charging station just there, and it will basically just pull power until it has 1000 RF in it. Not very much power, but a little bit. So now what we need to do is we need an iron stick. We need one of these tool cores, and I believe we need 3 diamonds. Yep, there we go. And so now we can either make a diamond stick, or we can make ourselves a kinetic multi-tool. So I'm going to make that kinetic multi-tool. Boop. quite quick, doesn't take a lot of power. By itself though, doesn't do anything. This is where another tool core, and then we put in some gold, and we put in some iron. Oh. What in the heck just happened? I think I just made a bunch of iron sticks. That was not intentional. Let's... Okay, that worked. I'm able to right click and stop it. I only made 9 of them. Wow, just in time too. So we want to make that drill head. And now what we can do is we can take the tool and the drill head, and it will combine the two of them together. Yeah, that's a pain. Don't make that. Do not stop. Okay, so now we have a kinetic multi-tool with the drill head. However, it has 0 RF, so we have to shift right click, and you can see there that there is 0 power in it. So we need to get some way of putting power in it, and the way we do that is through those capsules. I'm just going to make them... Oh really? I'll grab 2 gold. I'm just going to make the most basic one to start with. So we shift right click, throw the capsule in, still got 0 power, but now we can throw it in the charging slot, I believe. Okay. I did remember reading this somewhere that you might have to actually take the capsules out and charge the individual capsules. Yep, there we go. So you can see it's pulling a fair whack of power. When you have Man of Steel tools, there's not a real need to have this thing. There's not like a real need to have it, but I feel like it's going to be a pretty neat tool anyway. I believe it's really super fast. You can also now add a drilling attachment to it, and it automatically, based on the block you try to break, switches between shovel and drill, which is pretty cool as well. So let's just quickly test this out. Little sprint to the end. Have I really done this far? Wow, okay. So that used about 600 RF. Not too shabby at all. So it seems to use about 100 per block it breaks. I'm wondering if ores are slightly more. Now I believe this can break obsidian as well. Where was that obsidian? So I lost that obsidian, but you saw how quickly that broke it, and it didn't. Actually, I think it did use a bit of power. Where's that bucket? Might have to do this the old-fashioned way. So from here, we've got 97,000 RF, 95,000. So it takes 2,000 RF to break an obsidian block, but you saw how quickly that was. That is absolutely ridiculous how quick that was. So if you want to go strip mining, this is definitely the way to do it. All told though, a lot of diamonds it takes to make it. Probably pretty close to a quarry actually. because you need 2 diamonds for the 2 tool cores, plus 3 diamonds, so that takes 5 diamonds. The charging station took 2 diamonds. So you are looking at quite a lot of diamonds, and you need to have a very stable Buildcraft power system. However, if you've got that, there is no reason not to get this thing. It's pretty amazing. Like I said, takes quite a lot of work to get to the point where it's actually something that you can build. But yeah, once you get there, it's a pretty sweet system. I mean, the Ender IO dark matter pick and the way that it works is pretty cool too. Right, got you turned off? Yes, I have. Yeah, so that's pretty cool as well, but I think this is just slightly cooler. So the next thing that I wanted to build was the kinetic duster. So that takes 2 gold gears and a diamond gear. 2 gold gears, diamond gear that I prepared earlier. Glad I prepared them earlier. 2 golden transport pipes and 3 glass. It's looking like I prepared this off camera now, isn't it? I'm glad that I didn't forget about it. Now, not only is this a cool looking machine, but it's a cool duster. So you put an item in it, the lasers shoot and hit it, you'll see a little bar go across the bottom as it's doing its job. At least it should have. And then it sticks its item into the nearest inventory. Now it prioritizes pipes, which is something you can take advantage of. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build a hopper to feed it. And like I said, it prioritizes pipes. So if we put just a stone transport pipe should be fine. And then an output chest. This should be a thing. I just really do hope that it can feed from every side and that it doesn't just feed from left and right. Let's just start with 4 iron ore and we'll see how we go. So, in the hopper, put 4, sticks it in, dusts it, next one goes in. Now I don't know actually how much RF this uses. So I don't know how how this actually works out in terms of efficiency, but it's actually quite quick. And it's Buildcraft editions, which is Buildcraft, which is cool because I think that's just awesome. Let's do 64 iron. Yeah, I just think this is a really well made mod. The whole Eureka book system and the way it all sort of fits together I think is just really cool. So I'm happy that I finally got to the point where I've actually got enough lasers to make this productive. There you go, there you can see the bar moving. Doesn't update properly though for some reason. Doesn't matter. But you can see how quickly it's actually breaking these things up now that the lasers are at full power. And it'll take 9, 12, it'll take as many lasers as you want to throw at it. So it just kind of gets infinitely faster. Now the next thing that I want to try is I think I need 6 diamonds. So how do can I just throw them in the duster? I'm hoping that I can just throw these in and they will dust them. Wow, beautiful. Expensive, but beautiful. Oh, don't tell me each diamond only gives me one dust. This might have just got expensive. Yeah, this particular device might have just cost me much more than I thought it was going to. So that gets me 4. It's doing its thing, keeping it full. Oh, there's the rest of my steak. So that's going to get me 8. Maybe that is the right amount. Whew. So what we are making now is the next level in awesomeness for cooking things. And I'm fairly confident that I should be able to get it to work in this configuration. Now what should happen is if I place an item in here, the lasers should shoot it, and at the blink of an eye it cooks. Now that's what I'm looking for. This thing, obviously it cost a lot of diamonds. There's no two ways about that. This item is expensive, and I believe the way I've got it configured at the moment, it's going to tend to try everything that goes into here is going to tend to pop into there, and everything in there is going to try to pop into here. So, you know, weird and wonderful stuff is going to happen. But if I stop this for just a minute so that the lasers are refreshing themselves, and grab a stack of iron dust. Once these lasers all power up and all 6 are hitting it, look at that. The arrow just can't even keep up. The GUI doesn't update fast enough. That's a thing. Yep. Now, I mean, it's taken me an awful long time to get the resources to get there, but laser cooking, laser grinding, laser cooking, laser awesomeness. I think we now all know there is nothing lasers can't do. Now, considering lasers in Buildcraft kind of are a little dull, Buildcraft Editions just adds some amazing stuff. Like I said, I've been watching quite a lot of Chillam's Buildcraft Let's Plays, and once I saw him build that, I was like, I need to have one of those. It's like, you need some charcoal? Fine, stick a stack of wood in. Yeah. That'll be 10 seconds. So fill these back up. Get these all going again. Got any more diamonds? Nope, but ridiculous amounts of obsidian. That's why it's taking so much power and just not going anywhere. Totally not cool. Like even now when I'm pumping... Oops. See, these are all going. So that's 200-ish RF per tick. It's just not moving. That's weird actually. Why didn't it move? Was it didn't break obsidian, it broke dirt. I don't know. Oh, iron. But it was somewhere about there where it was hitting a heap of obsidian. Guess we'll just have to watch for a little bit longer. Maybe it's got it all. Guess that'd be nice if it had. but it's definitely down to a good level in terms of its mining. Multi-tool. It's like multi-pass. Corbin Dallas, multi-tool. Someone's probably done that before, and I'm sorry for stealing someone else's joke. Yeah, so obsidian much? What are we down to? 7, 8, 10, something like that. So we're getting pretty low. Now I'm gonna get myself stuck down here, aren't I? Now I can't even remember if I mentioned it. I upgraded to Elementium Armor because it has an increased chance of spawning a pixie. And I also added Aqua Affinity 1 to the helmet when I did it, which is supposed to help me mine when I'm underwater. Although it mentions something about your feet have to be on the ground or something like that, so I don't think it actually helps me when I'm waterfall rushing. This also doesn't have fortune, so it's not really any good for diamonds and emeralds and valuable stuff. I wonder if I can... No, I can't see it all. Yeah, so it's not really good for valuable stuff. But when you need to carve through some cobble or some iron ores or stuff like that, yeah, this is pretty amazing. Given the choice of the Ender IO pickaxe or this, what would I choose? I have to say, I think this is faster and better. Much more expensive though, so that they're kind of not on par with each other. And also, when you've got the Ender IO pickaxe, the dark steel pickaxe that's it there, once you get up to empowered 4, it has the ability to spoon. So once you add a diamond shovel to it, it then acts as what's the word I'm looking for? It acts as it automatically switches between pickaxe and shovel. It has the travel feature. So you can set up things in the world called travel anchors, and basically you just have to hold down the right click, I think, and you go whoop, and you just teleport to it. How do I make those actually? Pulsating crystal, pulsating iron nuggets. I want to see if I can do that and then set one up over here. Because if that's a thing and if that works... Oh, here we go, here's the obsidian again. So that's, quite a lot of power going in for each piece of obsidian that it breaks. I don't know whether it's the 2000 RF. It'd be really cool if it took the same amount of power for my multi-tool to break things as it did for the quarry to do it. So you can see how slow that was. If I had the shovel attachment on, like a hot knife through butter. To upgrade the tool though, you need to integrate some fan-dangled things to it in the integration station, and then some other stuff needs to happen as well. I can't for the life of me off the top of my head think of what they are. Whatever it was important. So let's throw in gold and then copper and then tin. And just because it's fun to watch. Now this is even with only most of the lasers pointing somewhere else. See, one laser hits it and it's still cooking like way faster than a regular furnace would. Two lasers now. I love that thing. This whole lava coil cooking thing, it wasn't bad, but it's just outclassed. So yeah, that's actually probably enough for this episode. Next episode, I want to start getting myself ready for some Minecraft boss fights. That's really what I want to aim for. So I'm going to start gearing myself up for some boss fights. And off camera, I'm going to set up that teleportation doobie thingy, the travel anchor, So yeah, hopefully when you come back you'll see that. So until next time, thanks for watching. Astocky out.